All right, guys. So on YouTube, everybody has different taste as to what they're into. Maybe you really like Mr. Beast content, or maybe you like something a little bit more sophisticated, so you like to watch Coco Melon all day long. That's fine. Whatever you're into, I don't judge, right? But there's one thing that universally pretty much all the viewers on YouTube agree on, and that's that everybody loves YouTube sponsorships. People can't get enough of them. There's nothing more than people like when they're watching a great video and then right in the middle of the video, a sponsorship ad read starts. It doesn't get any better than that. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic because everybody hates YouTube sponsorships, myself included. When I'm watching somebody else's video, that sponsorship comes up, I skip right over that sucker. Apparently, most of you do as well, according to the analytics, right? But the thing is, while most sponsorships are incredibly annoying, most of them are they're not outright scams, right? They're just very annoying. But there are some scams that have been promoted through YouTube sponsorships over the years on YouTube. Now, one of them, established titles, FTX, some people think BetterHelp, right? A lot of different sponsors have been proven either incredibly scummy or just outright scams. Now, one particular YouTuber who we talked about many times on this channel is named MeetKevin. Now, MeetKevin's been a big promoter of the scams over the years. He loves to promote the scams on his channel. He promoted established titles. He was a big promoter of FTX as well. So MeetKevin has recently started promoting a new scam. So let's actually take a brief look. I know, don't everyone click off the video because I'm going to show you a sponsorship ad read. I'm doing this to show you, prove a point. I'm just going to show you. So we're going to take a look at his sponsorship ad read, and then we'll go over why this company is a scam.
Did you know that central banks are loading up on gold, including the Chinese central bank? They're dumping dollars and bonds, and they're buying gold, hand over fist. And this is why I want to introduce to you Lear Capital. They're a trusted partner for when it comes to buying gold or silver.
All right, so it looks like he's promoting Lear Capital. That's his new sponsorship that he's been pumping on the channel as of recently. Now, for those of you who are new here, you're not deep into the Scotty Schaefer lore. You don't know all the videos and everything. You probably don't know what Lear Capital is. That's all right. I'm going to explain it to you. No big deal. But he's been promoting Lear Capital. The website even has his own, if you click on the link, it has his own page with his face on it. Find out why precious metals may be today's best investment. Now, Lear Capital, if you don't know what they are, they're basically a middleman in the gold industry. I actually did 2 videos on the scammy gold industry back in late 2022 and early 2023. Excuse me. I did those 2 videos. And basically what happens is these companies, they don't actually make gold coins or anything. They just buy them from and then sell them to customers and stuff like that. What they do is they will reach out to people. Primarily, they reach out to elderly people and a lot of conservative people. And they will say, hey, the US dollar, there's inflation. Its value goes down every year. And also the stock market is incredibly volatile. So what you should do is put your money into precious metals, gold, silver, whatever you're into, right? That's how you keep your money safe and how it's going to continue to build value for you. And maybe you can pass that down to your kids or your grandkids down the road. Now, if you want to get into precious metals, I don't really have a problem with that at all. It's probably a decent idea. But many of these companies, what they will do is they will have a bunch of hidden fees. And in many cases, they will sell the gold to these customers at massively inflated prices to the point where you will never make money. Sometimes 50, 100, sometimes 200% over what the actual asking price, if you were to buy from a legitimate dealer, is what these companies will sell the gold prices to their customers. So what will end up happening, and I covered this in the past video, is many of these elderly people, they'll buy gold, they'll hold on to it for maybe 10, 15 years. They will see that the price of gold has gone up 50, 60%, and they're like, wow, I have a lot of money I'm sitting on. And they try and sell their gold on the market, and they find out that even though gold has gone up 50, 60%, because they were screwed and they bought the gold at 100% markup, they had to sell their gold at a loss. They actually didn't make any profit yet. That's what many of these gold companies do. That's how they scam people, right? Now, I actually specifically talked about, it actually gets much worse, guys, so let's keep going. I actually specifically talked about Lear Capital in the video that I covered this whole gold scam industry back on December 30th, 2023. So let's actually hop in the DeLorean together. We'll take a trip through time, And we'll actually take a look at this clip where I talked about Lear Capital back in 2023. Another gold company, Lear Capital, bought Merit Financial's database of customers after its collapse and started aggressively selling to them as well. Sure enough, Lear Capital went bankrupt in 2023 after it was sued by multiple states for deceptive business practices. All right, guys. So there you can see from that clip, I did talk about that all the way back in 2023. And yes, it is true. Lear Capital went bankrupt. They actually went bankrupt in 2022, but it wasn't finalized until 2023, so we'll use the 2023 date. But they actually went bankrupt in 2023 for deceptively misleading their customers, and many states sued them and collectively got about $5 million from the company for scamming over its customers, right? This company, they went into, some people think, well, if they went bankrupt, how are they still in business? There's different kinds of bankruptcies. They did Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which allows them to reorganize and basically clear a bunch of their debt, but stay in business. So they're back in business. They're obviously promoting on YouTube through MeetKevin now. But yes, they went bankrupt back in 2023. Now, for me personally, I don't think it's appropriate to promote a company that went bankrupt for screwing over its customers just 2 years ago, Kevin. Back in 2023, 2025 now, right? 2 years ago, this company went bankrupt for scamming its customers. They were sued by multiple states and had to pay a $5.5 million settlement. This is not a good company. This is a company that likes to screw people over. And now Kevin is proudly talking about them on his channel. I trust Lear Capital. If you want your gold, use my link down below and get your Lear Capital gold, the company that likes to screw over their customers and then go bankrupt. All right, guys, so that's all I really have to say about that scammy company, Lear Capital. But one thing I actually want to further point out, I want to make fun of Kevin a little bit more since he's now promoting another scam sponsorship. And I actually want to go into detail about how what a terrible he did, what a terrible job he did actually with this sponsorship. Now, I've taken a few sponsorships in the past, obviously not with Lear Capital or anything like that, but I actually know how the sponsorships work to an extent, right? And basically what will happen is a company will reach out to you after you agree on terms and payment. They'll give you a list of things you specifically can't say and things specifically they want you to say in the ad, right? And they'll give you a little brief as to what to do, and then they'll give you your your link to they'll give you like a website link. Specifically, they want you to put in your description of your video so people will click on it, and then they'll get the tracking cookie knowing that they came specifically to their website through your link, right? Now, if you actually go into the description of the video where Kevin talks about this sponsorship, you can see where it talks about, he has the link to the actual website so you can get your gold from Lear Capital, and then right below it, it says, just a quick reminder, to add an intro and outro that segues his content into and out of the read. This should be related to current events and not something like, here's a message from our sponsor. Now, if you don't know, this specific line right here, that's not supposed to be in the description of the video. MeetKevin, when he got this information, that is a memo to Kevin specifically from the company. And because Kevin is so lazy when doing his sponsorships, he just copy-pasted that by accident into the description of his own video. You, the viewer, are not supposed to see that in the description. That's a memo for him. Now let's actually take a look at his video and see if he actually followed the directions in his own description to perfectly segue the sponsorship into the video. Let's see if he did that. Let's take a look.
Can denaturalize anyone who is not a naturally born citizen. And maybe that's why diversifying to gold through Lear Capital is the answer. Did you know that central banks are loading up on gold, including the Chinese?
So he did not do that. He did not perfectly segue the sponsorship into the video. What he did, if you don't know, he actually took this video. This is a scene from his live streams. He does live streams in the morning, and then he'll turn portions of those live streams into videos. So he just took part of his live stream, turned it into a video, and then thought, oh crap, I have to put a sponsorship in this. So he just randomly adds a scene that has nothing to do, literally nothing to do with the video. And then he's just like, oh, by the way, guys, you should buy gold from Lear Capital, this scam company that went bankrupt 2 years ago because they screwed over their customers. You should buy it. Kevin, That was a terrible segue for a sponsorship. You put no effort into integrating that video correctly into your actual video. So I just wanted to point out that not only is this a scam sponsorship, but Kevin did an absolutely terrible job of just copy pasting the instructions that were for him directly into his into his description so that everyone can see it, and then did not follow the directions at all. Kevin, you're a multimillionaire. You have a private jet. You have, I believe, I don't know how many people he has working for him now, but in the past he had like 5-10 people working for him. You should have a little bit more quality control on your channel to be able to not make such a boneheaded decision of putting the memo from the company in the description of your video and actually integrating the ad read into the video like they requested. I don't understand how a 2.0 million subscriber channel could do something so stupid. But let me know in the comments section below, guys. Are you a big fan of Lear Capital, the company that went bankrupt for screwing over their fans? And are you a fan of Kevin promoting this? Maybe Kevin could take some great sponsorships going forward, like a Marlboro or Shell, some sort of oil company. I don't know, company. There's a bunch of other great companies. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. There's a bunch of other great companies you could take sponsorships from, Kevin. Just let me know in the comments section down below, guys.